Do you have any questions that you want to ask me in terms of dating? Because you're my co-host.
Yeah, nah. So, okay. When we're talking about dating, what is your number one characteristic in looking for a partner?
Ooh, all right.
First of all, what are you interested in?
What am I interested in?
Yeah,
That's
who are you interested in? Are you interested in only men?
Oh, we're going there. Yes. I love the men, specifically Black men. At this point in my life, and beyond, I find women beautiful. I find women extremely beautiful. But in terms of sexual attraction and, in terms of wanting to build family, men.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my response. That's my answer.
Hey, you scared me a little bit. Man, okay.
I saw your eyes get big.
Because I'm like, hey, this is, not that it's wrong, but it's just new to me.
Yeah. I just want to, and listen, I respect all sexual attractions. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I just wanted to put that out there.
Not messing with you.
I just want to put that out there. I do find. I do find women extremely beautiful.
Here's why I reacted that way.
In terms of romantic attraction, like, in partnership, men.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I guess my personal feelings about the other attractions is a different thing. But the reason why I reacted that way, like why I was looking at you, is because I was talking to another friend, and a slew of women that I've spoken to that are my friends have said, yeah, I love men, but like, I'm just like, there's just something beautiful about women.
It's
and I'm
true.
just like, yo, like what, Nick? Yo, stop tripping. You would never find a dude that says that, like a straight dude. You would never find a dude that says that.
That's not true. I've met actually a few.
Don't make them up in your head.
No, I'm serious. They're comfortable complimenting other men. They're comfortable in their sexualities enough to, say that another man is beautiful or state whatever they feel is attractive in that man. But it doesn't mean that they have some do have sexual attraction, but predominantly date women or only date women, but they're comfortable enough to voice that. Like,
yeah, I think it comes off. I think it comes off in a different way.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because I would say that a dude has a beautiful soul, that he's a genuine person, that he's a good guy. I would say things like that.
But what's wrong with complimenting another man?
There ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying it's just the way that you do it. I think women get away with saying stuff like that. Like women are beautiful. Like I wouldn't necessarily say that men are beautiful. Like I wouldn't.
Or handsome. Like he's a handsome man.
I could say like individually, yeah, but the way that you said it was like women are beautiful.
They
like
are.
I'm just
like visually, aesthetically. Yeah, visually and aesthetically, I find women to be incredibly sexually beautiful.
Yeah, I can't say that about it.
I mean, yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
I got you. But yeah, in terms of romantic sexual partnership, men.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But and then characteristics, top things I look for. Faith and spirituality is like heavy for me. Heavy. Selflessness, someone who, knows how to consider the needs of others.
Right.
Someone who's self-aware is like very important. You have to know yourself because if you don't, you can't be accountable for anything. And just emotional maturity, someone who's well in tune with how they feel and knows how to communicate those things.
Yep.
But yeah, those are some of my like top character traits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang, I forgot the question I was gonna ask. But okay, let's go. Tell me. Yeah, this is show and tell time now. Tell me the type of guys that you had been attracted to before. Because now you're saying, because you're saying now that you specifically date black men now. So that kind of thought made me think you used to date something different in the past.
Yeah. I've
And why did you date?
I've tasted the rainbow.
You didn't care.
I didn't. I was younger. And not to say that age, coincides with whatever, but I was in a place where I was a lot more mentally open to interracial dating. So I've dated white men, I've dated South Asian men, I've dated Latino men. Like I was open. Because for me, I think we've talked about this in another episode, which I'll post later. But I wasn't necessarily thinking about, at that time, at my younger age, I wasn't thinking about like legacy and like family and lineage and like, what I wanted for myself long term. It was just more so in the now, like these were the men that I felt were courting me appropriately. And so
it's not necessarily anything about the way that they were treating you. It's just you're thinking, how my baby's gonna look, and
no.
Like how this will. Basically, it was a political decision.
Now it's a political decision for me.
No,
yeah.
Okay.
Now, yeah. Before, no, I wasn't thinking
you weren't thinking
long
that
term.
way.
No, and even if I wasn't thinking as deeply as like I am now about like my healing and what that looks like. And for me, a big part of my healing, I feel, involves partnering with a Black man. And again, I wasn't thinking that deeply spiritually. I wasn't thinking that deeply when it came to understanding who I was as a Black woman in the world and what that meant and whether or not my partner could help me bear the weight of that, you know? And usually when you're in interracial relationships, they don't understand the struggle.
So what is so important to you about dating a Black man? Matter of fact, scratch that. What is so attractive to you about a Black man?
Well, I didn't know you was going. Okay. What is attractive?
You asked me to ask questions, so now I love it. Give it to you.
You're giving me great questions. So, what is attractive to me about dating a Black man? Ooh.
Not attractive about you dating a Black man. What is attractive about a Black man?
To me. So many things. So many things. I think because I'm learning to love myself, I can better understand and know how to love a Black man because he's a reflection of me. I also love the strength of a Black man. I feel like it's a very nuanced strength. I feel like it's a strength that's like no other. I love the vitality of Black men. I love the energy that Black men have. I love the swag. I love just everything. I feel like so much the versatility. We are not monolithic people, like we have so much range as Black people. And Black men in general, I feel like we have a range in shades, a range in cultures, a range in languages, just this an array of Blackness to choose from that I love. And I also love the way Black men love Black women. I feel like I can't find that within other cultures that I date. I feel like Black men know how to love Black women better because they come from Black women. And there's just certain like jokes, you know what I mean? Like just certain, there's an energy with which we understand each other that I feel like I can't get within interracial relationships me.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. I can dig that.
Yeah.
There is, I think, something very special about the relationship between Black men and Black women that, like you mentioned, you can't find anywhere else. No. Nobody can really understand that, at least because of the narrative that we have to listen to and struggle through and experience here in America. So it's just different. Africans in Africa, I'm sure, understand their relationship a little differently than how Black Americans would. As
it pertains to?
Just being Black in relationship with one another. It just looks a little different, I would imagine.
A little bit.
They don't have to go through the same economic and political struggles
back home. Depending on what country you are.
Right. But it's like based on race.
Depending on what country. Like it depends if you're in South Africa.
South Africa is a little different, but like Black people are the majority.
But I get what you're saying.
You understand?
Yeah.
So being in America is just completely different because like we're outnumbered by millions. So having a history like we do, the narrative, the stories that have been told about Black people, it just makes it much more important, I think, for Black people to date one another, marry one another, and create families with one another.
Yeah.
I mean, every other culture does it, man. Like if I try to go and date an Italian young lady, her parents would be like,
"What are you thinking,
nigga? You bugging?"
Right, right.
Like it's not about to happen. Right. Like unless they're like open people and they don't mind that all of that. But most times they'll just be like, "Nah, you're tripping. Find somebody else to fall in love with."
Yeah, I feel like we're the only culture that criticizes each other.
Yeah.
For limiting ourselves, like, or wanting to date within our own cultures or within our own race. I feel like for everybody it's so normalized, but with each other we're so hard. Like it's like, why don't you want to try something new? Why don't you, you know what I'm saying? But I guess it also depends on what kind of circle you're in as well. Yeah. Because within African culture, it's normalized to stay within your not even just your country, but like your tribe.
Your tribe, yeah.
So, but within Black American culture, it's a lot more open. Like you guys, it seems you have more range and freedom to date interracially.
Yeah, it's because we've been exposed to it.
Yeah, the exposure.
We've lived amongst white people and every other culture just about since the inception of this country, pretty much, right? So with that exposure, kind of opens your eyes, not to something new and better, but it's just different. And most human beings are attracted to different. And so if we're in a country that has so many options, it's like, okay, well, you Black, so what? Right. Like there's the white girl over there, like Becky look alright. She got a little body or whatever.
Now,
you know what I mean? Like now. You know? Like I can go and date Miss Chung over there. Like Miss Chung can get it, you know? That's just the conversations that be going on.
I can't wait for
and like I can start a family with Miss Chung. I don't really want to worry about like the Black girl. Because I'm just not attracted to that. I see that like all of my family is Black, so why not just try something new, something
and you have
different.
The freedom to try something.
And you have the freedom as opposed to being born in Africa in an African country. You're mainly just around Black people, so it's not even a thought per se,
or an option,
right? Or an option to think, oh, I'm gonna date a white girl, even though I would assume that a lot of men, even women, look at the white men and women and say, hey, like I could, I mean, like I can get a green card real quick.
Yeah, I mean, wanting to have proximity to whiteness is still like a thing that Africans struggle with because I mean we still experience colonialism as well. Yeah. So our we associate whiteness with goodness. We associate whiteness with wealth. We associate whiteness with a better life.
Right. And black Americans do the same thing, which is why there's this attraction to them because we feel like, oh, white is better. Somewhere down in our psyche, we feel like white is better. So why wouldn't we, with that mentality, why wouldn't we try to date an Asian or a white or, somebody of lighter complexion that doesn't understand our culture because it's just different and we think it's better.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if we're being real, like with Africans, sometimes it is, even though within our own cultures, we'd rather you stay there and be inclusive and, date within your own country or tribe or whatever. But when we come into the Western world, it's like now we get into these like dating caste systems where we feel like we carry that same mentality where it's like we'd rather, okay, if you're not going to date someone from your country or from your tribe, this is what is acceptable. Right. White man first, then your own, then Black American or what, it's sad. And then, it's really sad.
And then Black Americans also do this other thing where they try to delineate exactly the type of person that you're gonna date too. So it'll be, all right, as a black person, if you're gonna go outside of your race, it has to be a rich white woman. Like, I'm speaking as a black man.
Right.
It has to be a rich white woman, or a well-educated white woman, or a white woman that has some kind of political clout. Right?
Interesting.
And women do the same thing. Like, dude gotta have money. Right? He has to have some kind of clout somewhere where, like, I'll be living good. Because I can't just date any regular old white dude
without leverage.
Right, without any leverage. My family's gonna look at me like I'm crazy.
Right.
So I gotta date somebody who got some leverage. Like, that's another thing too that adds pressure to young black people that are looking to get married, because it's like, okay, I can't step out of my culture, my race, without having to level up in a sense. Like, who says it's leveling up? I can find another black person with the same credentials, with the same opportunities and financial backing or background as well, and live just as happily or happier.
Yeah.
You know? So there's a lot of constraints that we put on one another as black people in America, or even globally. A lot of it comes from just toxicity. Our history is very toxic. The things that have happened to us, the things that we've done to one another, is has pretty much played a part in how we think today. And you can just see, if you go back through history, you'll be able to see what happened to us when we were colonized, what happened to us when we decided to make one another slaves, and what kind of system that created. It's just
there's a trauma that's been internalized.
The whole lot of trauma that we've created on our own. And as black people and as white people, everybody has their own trauma that they've created. So if you look at it on a global scale, it's just people trying to make it, trying to be happy, trying to love, or find love in this world.
In spite of all of the craziness that's going on. Yeah. So how do we break free from those from the social conditioning of, like, you know, what has impacted us through these years of trauma?
Educate yourself and don't believe in anything that people are pushing too heavy. Like I was saying before, when somebody hits you with information that is like truth, that's a fact, you feel it. Like you've heard when you go to church, like people just like they just start singing, well, like, but they feel it,
right?
You know, it's the truth. I don't know how it hits them specifically, but like you just know it's the truth.
Beyond emotionality, like, do your research.
You have to do your research. Right? That was the first thing I said. Like, you got to do your research on your history, because it'll be able to tell you where we've come from, and why we think the way that we do today.
Why we're where we are.
Right.
Today.
And now you're able to see with a clear-eyed view, depending on the level of research that you've done and where you've gotten your information, you'll be able to make good decisions as to what you choose to believe now. Yeah. And how you shape your life going forward.
Yeah, and before you make that good decision, probably how, after doing your research, seeing where you fall in terms of like what you've learned, like what have those implicit biases based on like traumas and years of terrorism or whatever, how has that impacted you in the way you see people and how you want to date, and what caste systems you've created in your head so that you can make a better informed decision about who you choose to partner with and who you choose to love. Right. Because
a lot of unsuccessful relationships become unsuccessful because you're closed-minded. Right. Or you haven't been exposed to something. Like a lot of guys, the issue is, black men specifically, the issue is that black men are not emotional enough when it comes to being able to relate that or communicate that to a woman. And that's definitely the case, right? They're just not able to communicate their emotions effectively. But have they been exposed to that? Probably not.
What's the solution? Like, talk to your brothers. Like, how would they be able to come to a place where they feel like they can emotionally communicate what their needs are?
You have to be exposed to that.
What if they don't have the privilege of having maybe a male figure in their life to like expose them to.
Well, so if you're listening to this right now, then you're being exposed.
Okay.
Right? And it's not like I'm putting you on Front Street. I'm just saying this is information that's out there. So now that, because I wouldn't know that 2 + 2 = 4 if somebody didn't show me that.
Okay.
You understand? So now that I'm telling you verbally that there is this component of every human being, especially men, that we don't like to tap into all the time, and that we could do a little bit better in communicating with, is the emotion, then I'm exposing you to this so that you can go now and be conscious about how you live your life in this emotional realm, how you expose yourself, how you be transparent, how you communicate your emotions to someone, because men do communicate their emotions. Like, you just got to get them on some kind of field or basketball court or something, and you'll definitely know what's going on with him. Because you can tell if he's angry, he's gonna be calling foul all the time. He's gonna be cussing. He's gonna be carrying on, trying to pick fights and stuff, right? But if he's a calm dude, like he's good, he's gonna play his game. He's gonna laugh. He's gonna dap up his homies and go about his business.
Yeah, no, men are emotional beings too. It's just finding out ways to get them to communicate their emotions effectively.
Yeah, like women want men to be able to express it to them the way that women want it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which can be good and bad, but
yeah, like you can do both. You can do both as a man. And women have their things too. Like, they won't communicate a certain way to a dude. Like, why is it that you never know what you want to eat? You know you're hungry, but you never know what you want to eat, right? But you do know. You just don't know how to say it.
I be knowing.
Not you specifically, but like women.
I got you.
I'll be like, hey, what do you want to eat? Oh no, like, all right, you want meat? You want like veg? You want salads? Like, what is it? What do you want? Oh, I don't know. Lord, why are we going through this right now? Like, just communicate to me what it is. Like, you can't tell me I don't know. Those are 3 words that I don't like put together. Period. By anybody. Okay.
I hear you. So what resources, do you have any favorite YouTubers and, people on Instagram, any favorite books, resources for men to better learn how to communicate effectively? Are there any person
communicating effectively?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought you were going to say like the whole emotional and
that too. Yeah, whatever
advice.
Resources that you have.
I don't,
besides this podcast.
Thing is, I don't have anybody offhand that I truly believe in. Not to say that ain't nobody out there, but I don't truly believe in anybody out there right now that I've seen that gives you everything that you need to know without a price.
Without a price? What do you mean by like having to purchase a book, or like what do you mean by that?
No, like there's a price that they put on all of their material. You understand? Well, yeah, it's like the book thing. Okay. Like they have these training courses, they got their books, and it's all like a scheme. Okay. So they're not giving you exactly what you need in order to freaking survive in life.
Okay, got you.
They're making you literally pay
for bits and pieces.
For bits and pieces of something that is so important. Like, I don't understand people that do that. Just give me the game. Give me the game so I can be a better person.
Let me see. I actually think I may have 2 people that came to mind.
So the idea is, for me, like if I was doing this, I wouldn't necessarily refer you to anybody, but if it's something that you gotta want to do. Like you gotta want to be better. You gotta want to learn how to communicate better. So in your pursuit of that, you're gonna come across different information. You'll come across different people. And you'll be able to sift through what is BS and what is real. Yeah. And from that point, you are now taking initiative in who you want to be tomorrow. And if I were to just tell you, go to Torrey Roberts, right? If I were to tell you to just go to him, now you're only going to look at him. And like, I'm co-signing him and I don't even really know what he's talking about. he could be saying foolishness from time to time, and like in between, he gives you the real stuff. But I want something authentic all the way through.
All the way through.
You know, so I can't necessarily say, okay, this person is just like legit all the way, because I don't know any of these people personally to begin with.
No, that's valid.
You know,
valid. But just any references, like the two people that came to mind for me on Instagram were Rob Hilster and Joel Leon. They are highly emotionally intuitive beings. Yeah,
I know. I've come across both of them.
Yeah.
But Joel Leon has actually, I've had a conversation with him.
With him?
Yeah.
How was that?
That was dope. Exactly what he tweets about.
Yeah.
Is who he is as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a cool dude. I don't know. I'm not completely familiar with everything that he does, but I can co-sign that a lot of what he says is how he carries himself. So he's a good person to look at. Rob Hills Sr. is good too, based on his quotes. Like,
yeah. And I know he does have a book, but again, we don't know these people personally.
Yeah, so I can't co-sign. I can't co-sign like their personal life, and I like to do that. I like to be able to say, "Yo, I know this person, and like what they're talking about is it. Like there's no fluff here." But I don't know these people, so all I can say is,
I feel like they'd be a good point of reference just to start.
Yeah, just to start. Like their tweets are perfect. Their content, like their books and so forth, they're both authors. So whatever is in their books is, I would say, top-notch stuff. Okay. So that's a good place to start, like you said.
Yeah, well, hopefully we've given people enough resources and things to reference.
If not, they can get something later.
Yeah, we'll try to do better about, bringing you guys resources and tools to help you guys, navigate these spaces for yourself, right? But thank you guys for tuning in on the first episode of the Konjo Show. Meet us again for our next episode, and let's journey together.
Peace.